vulnerable position to be in when you close up on that car in front of you right here.
Out of the fourth turn, one car goes sliding toward the infield wall. It's Chase Elliott.
Oh, no.
Regan Smith spins out in the tri-oval, and when Elliott's car hit that grass, it's like the blade of a shovel hitting the turf. The front splitter just hits it and digs in. We're under the first caution of the day.
Yeah, it's also a tricky place to be. I mean, we're starting to see handling become a big issue. You can see the back of the car just comes up out a little bit. Looks like the 19th of Carl Edwards, when he got up to his left rear, it just started pushing the air on that car, and it just took the air off of the spoiler, and around he came.
It just stepped out, and I think it shows, Jeff and I were talking about this earlier, how hot the third and fourth turn is, because the sun beams down on that end of the speedway. Then we got a little tailwind off of turn 4. We've seen a number of cars get loose.
Watch this as he gets to the tri-oval grass, and that blade just digs in.
Yep. Just rips the nose right off the car. Here you go. Boom.
Oh. Not sure if there was any damage to the front of Carl Edwards, number 19, as Elliott came right across his...
The highs of highs, and the 2 goes around. Brad Keselowski, a lot of damage to the front end of that car. Keselowski into the grass.
I gave him room, didn't I, Joe? So you came up in front of him. Straight back to the garage here.
So you heard there was already a question on the radio whether Brad thought he gave room or not. So we have to go back and see the replay here to see. Here he is passing the 11 to Denny Hamlin. Looks like he almost wiggles and comes up in front of him. I don't know if he needs to get out of the gas or what. And the 11 just basically makes contact. But I can't believe Denny just ran into him on purpose. We're going to have to see that look a few more times.
Well, you heard the spotter. He said, did I give him room? And he said, well, you came up in front of him. Right there, he got loose, slowed his momentum down. The 11 was coming, and that's why the problem. Keselowski thought he was clear, but when he was moving up the racetrack, he wasn't anticipating getting loose like that. He got crazy loose, had to lift off the throttle, I would imagine. Denny Hamlin got in the back of him.
Yeah, so he came up in front of the 11.
11 has shown to be fast, very fast.
And what's at stake for him here? He's
trouble.
Contact on the backstretch. It's Michael Waltrip and now Brian Vickers. Robbie Gordon, 31. The time. Waltrip's over. 1, 2, 3 times for Michael Waltrip.
Well, there's the big one right there. Took a lot. There's a lot of good cars right there. Is that Sterling Marlin in there?
40 cars in it. That's Michael Waltrip's car, upside down.
When you're in a situation like that, you are just a passenger, especially when these cars start turning each other. Here you see, looks like Johnny Sauter slid up in the 30 car into Brian Vickers in the 25. A chain reaction.
Yes, that's Michael Tuckins. Yes.
And Biffle, the pole sitter, looks like he barely got through there.
So you see the tire come off of Michael's car. Then it got into that grass softened by the rain, and it just dug in, just like we saw Ryan Newman's last year, and sent the car over.
There's Harvick, Kevin LePage.
Trouble off trouble. Newman slams the wall. Comes Schrader, and Newman is in the air and over. Ryan Newman, last year's Rookie of the Year. The rear end ripped from the car.
Look at that thing lift up, Larry.
Just takes off like an airplane.
That's 3,400 pounds, folks. Just lifting up in the air like a feather.
And the right rear wheel digs into the dirt and tears the whole rear end loose from the car.
Yeah, if the tire hadn't come off of the wheel, it probably wouldn't have turned over like that. But once the tire came off, and it dug in and flipped it. Let's watch her here and see what happens. Oh, Kenny Schrader got out of control, got into him. That's what happened, Mike. His right rear tire came off. Car goes airborne, then when it hits the ground, it digs in and just rips it apart.
Be conservative to stay on the wreck, and then we thought...
And there it is. One car goes sliding across the infield grass. William Byron, who won his qualifying race here on Thursday. And that will change everything.
Certainly has changed it for that Exalted 24. Gets to the rear bumper, the 13, little surge of the 47. Oh, he gets to the left side of that rear bumper. And we've seen when you try to bump draft, you need to be either the center or to the right. Oh, it almost looked like Stenhouse was going to poke out and try to go by him, and maybe misjudged it, made contact, turned William Byron right around. Those guys had so much.
Danica Patrick, Greg Biffle, and now Paul Menard's on pit road overheating. Let's see what happened here with 16 laps to go. You're riding with Biffle.
run here on Danica. Goes to the inside. Danica wants to squeeze him and try to prevent him from making that pass. He clips her and turns her right into the grass, and unfortunately turns himself as well into that outside wall.
A lot of movement of these cars down the back straight. We see Danica in the 10 right there. There she goes down on the inside. That car really got light. The wheels come off the ground. Roof flip.
Wow.
Push it back down.
That is turf management at its worst right there.
Spectacular shot, and she did a great job keeping it going straight, not getting into that.
Those two went for turn 3, looking like Donnie and Kale.
I think 77 might get them both.
Wow.
What a run off the corner.
Oh, he's in the grass.
Don't go in the grass.
Boy.
No.
Yeah, he got the splitter.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
he
He
something
messed up.
under the nose.
He ruined his car.
This thing's on
he's
spin by
outta
the
here.
77.
You can't run through the grass.
Now, was Chase Elliott ahead of Daniel Suarez when that caution came out? That's what we're going to have to determine. That's the damage from the left front when he went through the grass. Yep. Aggressive getting to pit road. You can see they tried to go to the outside of Daniel Suarez. Oh, Suarez had to go up to miss Keselowski and made heavy contact with the 12 of Ryan Blaney.
Didn't look like Blaney was part of that group that was going to pit because that inside lane was filled up.
Yeah, there was no way Blaney was going to be able to make it to pit road there.
I can hear the lost crying. I can hear the truth.